Hello everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. My name is Janice and this is a lovely Roxanne or Roxy.
Yeah, that's fine,
that's fine. But not Hannah.
No, I'm not Hannah. That's not my name.
That's not your name. But there is a connection, of course. So if anyone has just tuned in and they've not seen you on Her Chapter today, you have had a show already and we're on at 5 o'clock today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yep, so I'm the current owner of Hannah's Room, and I say that because it was my mum and dad who started the business in, crikey, 1999.
1999.
I know, what were we all doing then? Crikey.
Well, partying like it was.
Pretty
1999.
Yeah. But Hannah moved out of the house. My mum used her room as a sewing room and basically grew and grew from there. I opened a second shop probably about 5 years ago now. My parents have now retired, so now it's me, and my daughter is kind of keeping her eye on how to edge me out in the future as well. So
I like
watch
that.
this space.
I like that. OK, what are we going to take a look at in the Facebook Live?
OK, so we're going to be doing some paper foundation piecing. We've been doing it kind of live during the shows this morning, so we're just going to carry on. And it's a log cabin pattern that we're doing, but it's a curved log cabin. So some log cabins can be quite blocky. This one, because of the way that the background fabric works, it kind of curves around.
Oh, so is it this one here that we're making?
It is indeed, yeah. So as you can see, I've started putting some colours together on the foundation paper. If I hold that at the front as well, you can see there that this is how it starts. Yeah, it's just starting to build now.
Okay.
So keep going, and if anybody's kind of got any questions about it, because I know it can be a tricky block to get your head around, because you actually sew on the back of the paper.
Oh, OK. Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you do have questions, I have got the tablet here with me, so you can come straight through directly to me on Facebook Live. Just pop your message on there. I'll see who you are. And then I will ask any questions for you, if that's OK. And just to show you that it is me, I'm going to give you a couple of thumbs up, a couple of love hearts, and a couple of smiley faces. There you go. That's us. Yeah, this is a couple of smiley faces. Right, OK, Rox, let's...
So we've been building up the foreground on this one, and now we're going to go into the next block. So we can tell that we're doing the background here because we finished off with the browns before. So all we need to do is fold the paper back on the next number, as it were, and in the pattern, you can get this on the Her Chapter website. In the pattern, it gives you full instructions of which number to follow. Yeah. It's all numerically there, so you're just following around it, and it's just colouring by numbers. But basically, you fold it over so you can see where your sewing line is going to be. And then once you've found that, you can lay the fabric over the top of it, overlapping that folded line. There we go. And if we spin this over, we're just going to sew along the line. So it literally is colouring by numbers. So this line here, we're going to pick the foot up, get my needle in position. Here we go, cooking on gas now.
Perfect. So would you not normally stitch on the back of the paper?
Well, this is foundation paper, so this is purposely for this project. You can use copier paper if you want, but it might blunt your needle quicker. If you reduce your stitch length as well, what it does is it perforates the paper more, so when you come to remove the paper, which we will do at the end, it kind of allows that to happen much easier, because it's obviously perforated in more positions. So as you can see there, hopefully you can pick that up. We've sewn along this line here. And then when we turn that over, that piece of fabric that we positioned into place is now sewn down, and we can press this back on itself to form the next piece of the pattern. OK. So I'll give that a little iron.
Perfect.
It's one of those blocks. It's a kind of a very standard quilt block. Lots of people would like to try it, I think, but they don't want to commit to doing a whole quilt in that style.
Yes, yeah.
So this is a good kind of taster session for it.
Yeah, I've never seen a curved one before.
Yeah, and it's about the background fabric, so the lighter fabric, just being slightly thinner strips.
Yes.
And obviously that then pulls the curve around.
Yeah, it's a really nice effect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite easy to build, and then you can curve it in the opposite way as well. So if you were to put the blocks, because each section of this cushion is made of a block, so there's 4 blocks in total. OK. So if you were to spin that around and put the darks in the centre, you would then get the effect of a cross in the middle coming out, which gives you a big circle in the middle.
Ah, right. Interesting.
Twofer.
Interesting.
So I've folded the next line on the opposite side.
Be nice, I guess, not just for a cushion, if you were to build a large quilt.
Yeah, absolutely. They are so stunning.
Can you change the size of the squares as well?
You can do. You can kind of print them onto bigger papers. You can, you know, elongate them. You can get more blocky log cabin blocks, so you don't get that curve, but you do get a staggered effect.
Yeah.
It's one of those that you can really play with. Once you've got the principle of foundation paper piecing, you can really play with it. And there's some really fantastic patterns out there for it as well. But it's colouring by numbers. As long as you follow the lines and the colour placement, you literally just colouring with numbers. So I'm going to add another background, and then we can add the darker colour, and you can really see that starting to build then.
Okay. If you're new to quilting and patchwork, do you think this is a job that a beginner could do?
They could certainly have a try at it. Yeah. It's one of those where you get your eye in. I always, it's a little bit like a block, a clutch biting point. So when you've realised how to do it, you kind of go, oh yeah,
I remember that.
Yes. I remember driving lessons.
Hill starts.
Yeah, 99 again.
Was it 90? Is that when you passed your test?
I think 98 probably. Yeah.
I think I passed mine. Let me work this out. I was born. I was 10. I think I did. I think I passed mine in 88.
Did you really?
First go.
First go too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see. So we're just going along the next line in between blocks 13 and 12. So they're all numbered, and you just say background and colour, so you know which fabric to put where. Yeah.
Remember, if you do have any questions, please come through to the studio. When you come through to the studio, it's just by putting a message onto Facebook Live. I can see what you're saying and I can ask the question. I don't have to say your name, but I'll ask the question for you if you do have anything to show. Or maybe you've got some inspirations you'd like to share with myself and Rox, so it'll give you a chance to do that. Take a picture and pop it onto Facebook.
Yeah, we'll see some makes.
Yeah.
What people have come up with and created.
Yeah.
It's always good fun, isn't it? It's creativity is one of those things that the more you share, the more you get back as well, isn't it? So
it's true. It's true.
There we go. We're just going to trim some excess away from this bit now, just so we've not got lots of bulk behind. And then if I fold that back, you can really see the block starting to... And if we put this block up, once I've added the dark fabric against the cushion, you can really see which bit it relates to as well. Yeah. But it's a nice way of kind of creating precise patchwork, because you're literally following the lines. And give that a press. Here we go.
And what inspired you to make this piece in particular?
I just like the effect of it. I really like the curvature of it. I'm not necessarily one for, sounds terrible, not one for accuracy. You know, when you're piecing together, I'm quite a lazy patchworker.
By your own admission.
By my own admission, I fully put my hands up to that. But this allows me to be it does allow me to be lazy, but accurate, which is fantastic.
Yeah, well, it brings the two together and gets great results.
Winner, winner. So here we go. We're going to add the darker on now. So we've added the background fabric here. So the next job to do is go to the opposite sides and start adding some of that darkest fabric in there, and then we can hold it up and you can see where that relates to on the actual pattern. So we're going to fold this line back to see where the sewing line is going to be.
What would you say your favourite patchwork design is, or your favourite projects to work on?
Oh, right. Well, patchwork design, I'll probably say a nice bargello. Yeah, I like a bargello. What's that?
What's that?
It's really simple to do. We've had the kits on. I think we've got a pattern on the website as well, the Chandler's site. It's basically where you use strips to create like a flowy curve effect. Ooh. And it looks really technical. So when people look at it, they go, oh, I could never ever do that. But it's really, really easy. Again, put my hand up, completely admit that I'm a lazy patchworker. You basically put your band together, form it into a big loop, subcut it like a big Swiss roll.
Got you, yes.
Unpick a seam at a time, and then as you put it together, it gives a really nice flow.
Really? Oh, that's good. Maybe I should try that.
So definitely have a look at that. But with regards to kind of sewing, I like to do a lot of textile art.
Yes.
So I like to do landscapes. I like my trees and my hairs. Yeah. So if anybody sees anything that I've been doing and sees a tree on it, that's my kind of stamp.
Then that's your stamp.
That's my thing. So there we go. So just turn this over now. I'm adding strips of the dark one.
Now, you're using dark and light fabrics in this, but do you have a favourite colour?
Purple.
Is it?
Purple, every time.
Why purple? If you could give a reason, why purple? It's always a difficult question, isn't it? What is the reason why you like colours?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a really creative, rich colour, isn't it? And I think everybody's naturally drawn to a certain colour palette.
Yes.
So mine's is purples and turquoises,
Yeah.
but I'm a Pisces.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, and I do think that has an effect.
Do you think?
I think it does. Do you?
Is purple the colour for all the full Pisces?
Well, it's a water sign, isn't it? So
Yes.
you kind of go in that route. What colour? What sign are you?
Well, I'm Aries, so it's red.
Yeah. Oh, well, that is hothead Aries.
Yes. And I've got Leo rising, so
Oh,
that
my
doesn't, yeah, that doesn't help, does it?
Crikey, I'm going to stay on the right side of you. My dad was an Aries. Well, is an
really?
Aries. I don't know what I said was. He still is. He's still very much in
He's
good
decided
health.
not to be an Aries anymore. It was too much for him.
Too much. Well, he lived with 2 Pisces, so I think it was too much for him. Bless
oh, my
him.
goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a fiery sign, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
it is,
Aries. So
we're-
you've got your
we're by
reds.
fire, but we're also leaders.
Absolutely.
And we think of everyone else before we think of ourselves.
Yeah, organised as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Quite assertive.
Yes, yes. Most of the time. Most of the time. Most of the time.
You see, I'm just a creative airhead, really.
Did you know that? Sorry, we're going totally off the tilt
Yeah,
now.
well, there we go.
But also, star signs have different parts of the body assigned to them where you might have issues or problems.
I didn't realise that.
Aries is head and
Really?
neck,
Right.
and Pisces is feet.
That wouldn't make sense. I won't get my feet out, don't worry.
How about you tell us your star sign and tell us whether you are true to your star sign
And what colours you go for.
and what colours you go for. That'd be really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What star sign are you?
I think it
and
does
what
have an
colours
effect.
do you go for? And it would be really interesting to see. Actually, just pop them onto Facebook Live. We'd love to see those.
You get flooded in now,
In
won't you?
fact, let's ask our lovely director Emily. What star sign are you, Emily? Oh, Emily's just thinking now.
She can't- When were you born?
She's on the cusp of
Oh.
Scorpion and Libra.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
We'll move on.
She's telling me to be careful. I'm already being careful. With that statement, I'm already being careful.
Absolutely
What's your
agreed.
favourite colour then, Emily? Blue. Blue.
I don't know.
Well,
Scorpio,
Scorpio. I would think it would be more scarlet and dark colours.
Yeah.
And Libra, I would think more of a balance, more of your beige, more of your just balance.
Your coffees and creams that we're
Coffees
doing
and
today.
creams.
This is a coffee and cream, you see. So,
Yes, so if you're
what is
Libra-
your favourite colour then?
What is your favourite colour? Yes. Now Emily's saying gold. She did say blue earlier, but now she's saying gold.
You see, we're right then.
She's on the cusp.
That's it.
She is Scorpio and Libra. I'm not going to argue with her. Whatever she
No.
says, I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I agree.
But yes, let us know your star sign and your favourite colour, because it'd be interesting to bring the two together.
Or even, sometimes your favourite colour is not what you're drawn to in your craft projects either. You know, because I do a lot of my samples in purples and turquoises.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the time I'm drawn towards rainbows when I'm doing craft projects, just because of the pure bounce of the colour as
Interesting,
well.
yes.
So it'd be interesting to see what people like to do with their craft projects, whether
Yeah.
it's sewing or, you know, paper crafts and things.
We've had a comment on Facebook. I'm just going to pop my glasses on. Christine Graham. She is a Pisces, and her favourite colour is purple.
There you go, you see.
There you go.
It's a
well done.
Piscean trait, I'm telling you, I'm not mad.
That's interesting. See, I would have thought it was green. I don't know why. Pisces
Really?
and green.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of Pisces. My mum's a Pisces.
Yes.
She does actually like greens a lot. One of the ladies who used to work with me, we were like joint Pisces, and she's very purple. So if anybody sees us at shows and things, pop along with the ones with the purple hoodies on.
Is that somebody that is a fellow stitcher?
Yeah.
So you went to the same school of
No,
sewing?
yeah, well,
school.
yeah.
Get it? Fish school. Don't know why I'm explaining the joke. Sorry.
That was a dad joke, that one, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Joanna, we've had Joanna on. Joanna Bay, she says, good afternoon, Janice and Roxy. I am Taurus, and purple is my favourite colour. You are doing good. Missing you, Roxy. Joanna.
Joanna, Crafty UK, Joanna.
Crafty
yeah,
UK,
the lovely
Joanna.
Joanna and Andy. Bless them, they'll be at a show at the moment.
Oh, we've had Mavis Padareth. Mavis Padareth. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I do beg your pardon. She says, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well.
Good. I
Yeah.
hope you are too. Thank you for your comments. Keep them coming in. Apparently Libra is blue.
Is it really?
Who said that?
The stars.
Oh, apparently something beginning with G and ending in E said it, so it must be right.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to be right.
Here we go, we're going to add this one on. So you can see how the block, it kind of comes together. And if we go back to the very beginning, we can show people how it starts on a fresh piece of paper if you like.
Please, that'd be
Just
great.
because we did this during the live shows, which you can watch on the rewind, can't you?
Yes, you certainly can.
But in case anybody hasn't been able to do that yet, here we go. We've added some dark in. A swishing of the iron.
You can use a little iron though if you want to. Can't
You can,
you know, if
yeah,
you've got a little small
absolutely.
craft iron.
Yeah, definitely. So here we go. This is kind of building up to the quarter of the actual cushion pattern.
Oh,
So if
okay.
I hold that against
Yeah,
there, you
shall
can
we?
see whereabouts it's coming from. So up at the top, if I spin that around once, can you see this is starting to create this bit here?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
I see that.
and it all stems from this centre stone that you've got here, and then it kind of builds out colour by colour, getting darker as you go. And you can choose whether or not to have this colour on the outside as we have here to create that centre star, or if I just lay this over the top of the actual cushion,
Yes.
you can have the darker bits going from the inside, if you see, and as you got all four, it builds around, and that creates a circle of the paper piece in the middle.
Oh, I don't know which one I like. I think I like the darker colour
In the middle.
Mm.
It's really, well, it's one of those things as well that if you get the kit and you've got the papers,
Yes.
you make all the papers up to begin with.
Yes.
Then at the end you can lay them down and you can decide at the end how you want it to be. So you've not got to commit until you can kind of. And the best thing to do, I always find, take a picture.
That is a good idea. Take a picture.
Yeah, on your phone or.
We've had another comment. Sharon Gillibrand. Hi, that's beautiful, she says. Oh, thank you.
That's
oh,
good.
I'm talking about Roxy, me, or the cushion, of course.
Everything's beautiful today.
It is, and it really is beautiful. It's lovely, and like you say, if you're making a cushion out of this, or maybe a quilt, it is something that people will pick up and they'll look at and they'll go, "Oh my goodness, how did you do that?
Aren't you clever?
Aren't you clever?
Aren't you clever getting all those points? Look, I mean, look at
Yeah.
that. That looks like I've been really neat and accurate. And do you know what? Yes, I have, but because I'm just sewing on lines.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
So it's kind of a good cheaty way of doing it.
It's a great way.
It is.
Can you remember what the first thing you ever sewed was?
Yeah. This is going back to probably 99. It was a little cock quilt that I made.
Really?
Yeah, and then I kind of came away from sewing for a long time just because life gets busy, doesn't it? We have kids,
it does.
work, time-wise, the pressure's on. And I did dabble around with dressmaking for a little while, and then probably about 6 years ago I made another quilt and kind of hooked.
And that was it?
Yeah,
Got
and I
you
think nobody was more surprised than my mum, because my mum is a prolific quilt maker.
Is she?
I mean, she's award-winning. They are
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are
wow.
stunning. So kind of big shoes to fill. But I think when I started doing this, she was a bit like, oh my God, where's that come from?
Oh.
But yeah, we kind of share ideas now. It's really wonderful.
And as your mum, like you say, is award-winning, she's at the top of the game when it comes to quilt making. Is it nice when you get the approval of your mum?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, if I send her a picture of something, she's like, "Oh, that's really lovely. That's wonderful."
Yes.
But yeah, she's had quilts in every single show. She won all sorts of different awards. So
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
Have you won any awards yet?
no,
I say
haven't yet, purely because I haven't really entered anything yet.
Have you not?
Well, between me and my partner, we have 6 children.
Okay.
And we have 2 businesses.
Okay.
And so I'm usually up and down the country teaching a lot of the time when I'm not at shows or with you lovely guys at Chanda. So I did have every intention of entering a couple of quilts this year. I've got the ideas in my head and they're all going to take an hour to make, aren't they? No, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, I've just not got round to doing it.
So to win an award, is it the design, and do you have to design that yourself, or can you use other designs and just bring it all together? What's the criteria for winning a prize?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different elements. There's lots of different categories that you can enter. So there's kind of novice categories. So anybody that's new to it, that wants to kind of find out how to, you can enter as a newcomer, as a professional. They judge on lots of different things and lots of different categories to enter into, so wall hangings or traditional quilts. But they do base it on kind of your technique, how you've created something, how you design something. If you use somebody else's design, always do credit the designer.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
a huge thing. And yes, you do get more merits, as it were, more marks if it's your own design, because it shows an element of creativity as well, doesn't it?
Right?
So, you know, when you've got like 50 million ideas in your head, which
Yes.
I have, I just need a team of clones to kind of carry them out
To
for
do
me.
it for you.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk about your first show on Hochanda, how you felt the very first time you went live on television?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, because my first show was probably March, I think it was, this year. And I was nervous to begin with, but do you know what? The team here, I know it sounds really cheesy, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they
really, you just feel really at home. Everybody's got a smile, everybody's really helpful, and it's talking. And as you can tell, I don't mind having a natter, so it's been all right, really. It must have been something right to come back, but yeah, it's been really good. But I'd say to anybody, if you're a crafter, a supplier, and you're thinking about coming on, just go for it. It really is well worth it.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's always great to expand our family here at Hochanda. Well, I'm glad that you had a good time, and it's great to have you as a guest. And it's lovely to see you come each time with all the different projects that you've got available.
Yeah, well, this is it. It also really gives you a kick along the way to get on and get creating, because we like to bring something new. So a lot of the things that we've got on the show, I know that we're on together at 5, aren't we? That they are new to Hochanda, a lot of our products, and some of them are even exclusive to Hochanda as well.
Ooh,
so it's
sounds
always,
good.
you know, it kind of inspires you to get making and get doing.
So if you're inspiring people right now, they're watching this, they're thinking, do you know what, I want to start sewing, I want to start making. What kit do you have that would be ideal for them?
Okay.
To give them confidence and to get them on their way.
Yeah, it depends what you're interested in. So we've got some clock kits that are really easy to make. They're a bonded applique, so you can add as much sewing on top of that as you want to, as much or as little. We've got a one-day special quilt kit, which is really simple to construct, but it looks really effective. Yeah, it's kind of got a 3D rippling effect in it, but it's made from 2 blocks, and the blocks are made from a band, and it's really simple. And we're on the end of the phone as well. So if we've had lots of people that are new to it, kind of gone, oh, I've bought this, I'm not sure what to do. We've taught you through it. If you get stuck, we can explain the pattern. We've got WhatsApp, so that you can instantly send a picture through. We're on Facebook, so you can send us messages through there. You know, we just try and be really helpful, because we don't want you to buy a project, get it home and go, oh, I could never do that. Because it'll go in a cupboard and you won't appreciate it. Nobody will get to see it. We want you to finish your project, send us pictures, and enjoy doing it.
Fabulous. It is all about blocks, isn't it? That's something I've learned about. You know, you see quilts and you just look at them and think, how did they make that? But it's about breaking it down, like you say, into the blocks and then building the patterns up from there. That's something I've learned anyway, doing all the shows.
Yeah, it's amazing as well. The different kind of curves you can make with straight lines. You know, you think
like this one, yeah.
Well, you stand back and you go, well, how is that a straight line? And actually, when you walk up to it, it is super simple. And there are so many great patterns out there, and you know, projects that people can just have a try at, get involved, especially the younger kids as well. You know, bring them through, get them excited. Otherwise, it becomes a little bit of a dying art, doesn't it? And let's face it, making things, it gives you such a satisfaction.
Well, it does, and also making things for your home saves you money as well.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Just to make it look a little different, you know, you might want to go out and buy some new cushions. You don't need to buy them, you've got the cushions.
Yeah.
Just make and create the covers.
Yeah, in the colours that you like, knowing that you've made them with love. You know, and that's that, and presents as well. If you're giving them to somebody,
yes, lovely,
you know,
isn't it?
handmade presents. I think they always think they just mean so much more, because not only have you taken the time to think about what you want to do, you've spent that time making it as well.
Yeah, you have. And if you've got a family full of different star signs, you'll have a rainbow of colours for your home decor. We're still talking about colours and star signs and what your favourite colours are and what you craft in predominantly. If you do have a colour that you always go to, if you're choosing a thread, if you're choosing a piece of fabric, is there a colour, is there a tone, is there... What do you call the certain colours together? They're called
a palette.
A palette, yeah. A certain palette that you go for. You know, please let us know. Just leave your comments on Facebook. Is that your surname, Pallett?
It is, yeah.
Roxy Pallett.
I know, it sounds...
Rox Pallett.
Well, there's actually...
Live at the London Palladium, it's Rox Pallett.
There's an actress. There is actually an actress.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, called Roxanne Pallett. And I think she's been on Emmerdale.
Oh, who did she play?
I didn't think she had something to do with Andy Sugden at some point.
Oh, my friend was in Emmerdale.
Was she?
Yeah, she played a psychiatric nurse that came to see Paddy. Yeah. Yeah, was it Paddy? I think it was Paddy she came to see. Yeah. And my other friend was in Coronation Street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple
Friends
of months
with
ago
the
as a
stars.
detective.
Fab. Well, she was on the show, and it was at a time when I was doing a sponsored walk.
Yeah.
So my friend's husband had taken this sponsorship form into his work, building site, and said, "Can you sponsor?" So I think they'd all,
Pallett.
I think they were a bit disappointed when they saw me. They were like, "That's not the right one."
Yeah, I'll give her loads of money.
Yeah.
As long as I can meet her,
Get
then
her
you
to
come
turn up
along.
and yeah. Oh, thanks.
I didn't mean it like that. As it came out, I realised what I said.
Don't worry, I'm thick-skinned. I just think.
Rox Pallett. I like that. It's interesting, though, isn't it? Things you find out. Oh, dear. Oh, here we go. We've got someone else. Angela Timbrow. She said she's a Cancer and she likes blue.
Oh, is that a trait of Cancerians then? What's Cancer? Is a Cancer
Crab.
crab?
Yes.
So that's a would that be classed as water?
Water sign,
I suppose it
definitely.
would. So blue, yeah.
Yeah, so blue's very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, water sign.
Nice fresh blue as well.
Seaside blue.
Yeah, nice and vibrant.
Oh, nice seaside. Could do with a bit of seaside.
Yeah. Well, this weekend's like looking good, isn't it?
It certainly is. And taking a quilt to the seaside's always nice to sit on.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually do that, and
Do you?
I do get a lot of people come up to us sometimes like, "Where did you have that from?" Because we use ours for picnicking.
Yes.
You know, I always think that quilts are made to be used. So these people that make them and put them in cupboards, no, get them out, use them. If they get a bit tatty after years and years, that's memories,
Yeah,
isn't it?
you're right.
That
yeah.
is absolute memories.
Tells a story, doesn't it?
It does,
it's
totally.
Like, it's like a little scrapbook, isn't it?
It is, yeah,
Like a little journal.
And whenever I make them, my daughter always says, "Can I have that one when you finish with it?"
Oh,
Bless her. She's coming back from France today.
Is she?
So she'll be very giddy. So,
right.
I'm going to show you how to start this paper piecing.
Okay.
Okay, because I know that we jumped in kind of when we were quite far along the way. So on the back of the paper, if you can see there's lots of different numbers and letters.
Okay.
BG obviously stands for background fabric.
Right.
The C stands for the colour fabric. So all we do is block one here. We just have to put the fabric on the back of the paper, making sure that it kind of covers all of block one. And the easiest way to do that is if you've got a window, you don't need a light box or any fancy gadgets, just hold it up against the window so you can get the light through it. So if I pin this in place, I don't know whether you'll be able to hold it up to demonstrate that to the
We'll see if
camera
we
at
can get
all.
that.
Yeah, so I chop that. So I'll let you position it if you like, Janice.
Yeah,
no pressure.
Oh, position. Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah.
So you want it on which one?
So number one.
Number
block
one.
Yeah. Can you see it just needs
Just in the
to-
middle?
Yeah, so it just overlaps the edges of that.
So I can see that. So if I don't know whether we've got some light to shut you. Anyway, it's there.
It's there.
If you've got light behind, you can see
You
that
can,
going
yeah,
through.
and you don't need a light box. You can literally just hold it up against your window,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
fine.
will that will do the job. That will show the light coming through.
Yep, I've got it here in the studio. Just having looked at. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
going a bit over on the sides.
Yeah, that's
because
fine
it's
as long as
bigger.
it goes over. Yeah, it's meant to be bigger, so it overlaps all those lines because those lines are where you're going to sew.
Yep.
So if it overlaps, that's perfect. And I'm just going to stick this pin in and hopefully not pin you.
Okay. Ow! No, I'm only kidding. I'm only
Don't
kidding.
do that.
Look, 10 fingers.
Oh.
I mean, well, 8 fingers, 2 thumbs. Sorry, did I?
No,
leave you early.
You stabbed me with it, don't worry. You didn't. You didn't. Right, so then you get the next colour along, which is a creamy colour, and we lay that over the top of it. And then we flip it over, and it's called stitch and flip.
Stitch and flip.
It does what it says on the tin.
Yes,
that's
the
the
one.
way. Right. So we know that block one is in place. So we're just going to lay this over face down, right sides together, but with batiks, there isn't really a right side or a wrong side, so it's
No.
just face down, overlapping that number one mark.
Why is it called batik?
Batik is
Yeah.
2 words, batik, to dot and scribe, and it is.
Oh, is it?
It's an
Ba and teak.
Yeah, it's an ancient form of transferring a pattern onto a cloth. It even dates back to like ancient Egyptian time. So the linens that they would soak in wax.
Yeah.
Then they would use a little sharp stylus to etch away the hieroglyphics and the writing onto the linens. They would apply the dye over the top. Obviously, wherever the wax had been removed, the dye would then take. Wherever the wax is, the dye won't take. Wash the linen off, and you've got the scribing onto the linen. Then they would use that to wrap mummies in.
I never knew that.
Every day's a lesson.
Batik. Every day is a school day.
Yeah, it
I love
is.
that. Batik.
Yeah, but it's more commonly known, obviously, in Bali these days.
Yes.
But they use chops which are like copper stencils to transfer the wax onto fabrics, and it's just the over-dyeing. It's a form of using that wax as a resist to the dye.
Brilliant, there you go. Learn something new every day.
Fountain of knowledge.
Yes.
So there we go, we've pinned it to the front, and we're going to sew the line that is between block number 1 and block number 2. And we're just literally going to sew along the line in between them, just overlapping at the start and the end, just to hold them in place. And we're going to shorten that stitch length as well, because that will help the paper being torn away.
Now, do you get instructions with the kits?
Yeah, full colour instructions,
Great.
Step-by-step guide.
Yep.
All the codes are referenced in there as well. And then at the end we show you how you can make either of the 2 layouts, so you can only get a 2 for 1 with it. And it's just a nice project. If you want to have a try at log cabin, but you don't want to commit to a full-size quilt, cushion. And let's face it, who doesn't like a good cushion?
Oh, I know.
And the way that you quilt it at the end can add to that curvature as well. So once you've done that, you can then turn it over. You can see that that line has been sewn in place. Remove the pin and then just fold that back, and you get a nice crisp line. If I hold that up slightly, you can see that nice crisp line there once I press that back with the iron.
Perfect.
And you just kind of work around. It works in a circle and it grows as it's going towards the outer edge. But there's lots of different patterns. You can get elephant patterns that are foundation papered.
Really?
Oh, there are some brilliant patterns out there that are foundation papered. And it's just, like I say, colour by numbers. It gives you that confidence just to follow that pattern and colour it in.
And I guess if you've got the instructions as well, you can watch this on Facebook. You can watch the shows that Roxy's doing at... Well, you've been the one-day special, so the shows will be available from yesterday at 6 p.m, 8 p.m, then this morning at 9 a.m, then 1 p.m, and then we've got the final call at 5 p.m. today on Hochanda. So you can watch all of those again. And if you want to watch us live at 5, please do so and get your questions in. Maybe you can think of a few things to ask, and you'll be able to see the kits that we've got available for you. And we've got a whole range on the show.
We've got loads of things. Yeah, we literally, I have moved in. Yeah, pretty much have, yeah. I just turned up yesterday, like, right, that's it, I'm living here now. It's not a Chanda, it's Hannah's room now.
Like it, I like it. Dedicated part of the studio for you.
Fixtures and fittings.
You can shop ahead on the website. You can always go to the hochanda.com website and have a look at what's available.
Yeah,
before the show.
Yeah, we've got some lovely things. We've had a few things still out as well, which is very exciting.
Really?
Yeah, we've got a puffin bag. We've got to name the puffin as well. So that is one of the things that we've been doing. There's a puffin tote bag, and the puffin hasn't got a name.
Oh, send the names in.
Yeah,
please do.
We're going to choose one at 5 o'clock. Now, they did say I had to choose it, but I think you should choose it.
Oh, I'd love to choose a name. Please get your names in.
Yeah.
You can throw in a few suggestions now if you want to, but during the 5 o'clock show we'd love to hear what you'd like to call the puffin. Is it a male or a female puffin, or is it non-gender?
It's non-gender at the moment, so it could be anything.
Perfect. Right, we'll come up with a name. Come up with a name.
Absolutely.
So, Chuffin, that's what I call it. Chuffin the puffin.
That's what the lady at Claire who works for me, she called it the chuffing puffin. She emailed in yesterday, she said, oh, I won't tell you what we call it. She'll be cursing me now, won't she?
Oh dear, you have to laugh.
You do. So I'm doing the line between blocks 2 and 3, and it literally is, it's just like a colouring book. You just basically pop the fabrics on the front, sew from the back, and then flip the fabrics over. It's much easier than it looks, and sticking to those lines means that you get a really good, accurate finish to it as well. So there we go.
When do you take the paper off?
After you've finished all 4 blocks.
Right.
Okay, and the reason why you take the paper off, I mean, we can remove the paper if you want to have a look at it without the paper. We can remove the paper from this one if you like.
Have a go?
Yeah,
just to have a look.
It's really simple. So when you've perforated it, what I would tend to do is, if you get the kits home, a good idea is to, because you trim the blocks down to the size and the pattern, and then you put the blocks, 2 blocks together, then the 4 blocks together, and that is when I would normally remove the paper.
Okay.
But if it's fine to do that on this one, and you just kind of start in the middle, and it's a bit like opening an advent calendar.
So when do you perforate it then?
It's perforated as a needle goes through. The needle is perforating it. So if you reduce your stitch length right down, obviously not so it's dragging, but to a sensible kind of maybe a 2, it will perforate more so that it's easier to pull the papers away.
Good tip.
Yeah, without pulling any of your stitches. So if I just, it is a little bit like opening an advent calendar, you know, when you've got to pull along the lines. And you can see there, look. And you can get a lot of paper pieces all over the floor when you're doing this, but if your stitch length has been reduced, see, this just tears away without disturbing any of your stitches.
Like that, like a stamp, really.
Yeah. So there you go. You can see that it's already started to come away. Did you want to have a little try at pulling some of the paper away?
Shall I? What, no,
yeah,
I'm going to put my glasses on. You can do it, I can do it. Just get underneath.
Yeah,
just
you
go over the perforated lines.
You're just peeling away those lines.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes away really, really easily.
Oh, it does. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's quite satisfying. It's a bit like ripping a plaster off.
Actually, it is really satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's easy. And then you just go through to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know something? I thought there was a hole in it then, but it's the fabric. Because the fabric there was the same colour as the paper, and I got to that, I thought, what have I done?
Oh, no.
It's just the fabric underneath. Oh, yeah, that's really easy.
It is. And then, obviously, you can quilt it if you wanted to, pop it on some wadding. You don't have to. It's a personal preference. And you just...
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
see, I'm off
satisfying,
now,
isn't
aren't
it?
I?
Oh, she's going...
Yeah, that's it. It's all coming off.
We'll have to get you some newspapers to tear up next.
You know what they say about tearing up beer mats and newspaper?
What?
No, I can't say.
Oh, is that a conversation for later?
That's a conversation for later.
Oh, I do know.
Oh, do
is
you?
it frustrations?
Yes.
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 That one.
Yes, that one. Apparently so.
Well, I wouldn't
Right,
know.
let me get all of this off. No. I'm kidding. Oh, that's really easy to take off. That is brilliant. And then you're left with your template that you've made with the fabric. What an easy way of putting that together.
It is, yeah. You can create some really lovely designs with it. And then, like I say, you just tessellate it round to whichever orientation you want, whether they're dark in the centre. If you tune in at 5 o'clock, there are the two different layouts of the cushion cover are actually going to be on the show at 5, so you can see the 2-for-1 that you get.
Okay.
But you get all your fabrics in there as well, so the kit comes with not only the papers and the instructions, but also the fabrics for the front and the fabrics for the back of the cushion as well.
Perfect, that's great. What a lovely project to do. Right, what else can we have a look at?
Right, so we are just carrying on, we're just building round, basically. If anybody's, puzzled by this at all, it just really is a simple thing to do, and you can refer back, like you were saying, to the shows. Give us a call if you get really stuck.
Yeah, you'll have your contact details on the patterns and things, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're on good old Facebook as well, which is it's really good way of connecting with people, isn't it?
That's what we're doing right now.
Hence the reason. Yeah,
we're going Facebook Live right now.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Great to have your company, by the way.
I wonder what everybody's got planned. Has anybody got any crafting things planned for the weekend?
Yeah, because I think we're going to have a nice weekend, thankfully. So you might be crafting out in the garden. Your craft might be your garden.
Like one of the little outhouse things.
Oh, you might have a craft room in the garden. Which
Send us pictures if you do.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Like to see that. What are you up to this weekend? You might have already started your project right now and you're just crafting along whilst watching us, so let us know. Lovely to hear from you.
Yeah, what does everybody do when they're sewing? I tend to listen to an audio book.
Do you?
I love a good audio book. Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, you watch us, of course. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Apart from that, do you do anything else? Maybe sit there with some headphones in, watch television, catch up with your favourite soaps, listen to an audiobook, listen to music. What inspires you when you're sewing?
Yeah, well, a lot of the time when I'm doing my sewing, I'm in the workshop as well. So I'm surrounded by hundreds of boutiques and I have to be really careful because I can look around going, oh my God, that fabric is so beautiful. I want to start a new project. And I have to really, rein myself in a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
That's not a bad trait to have, though, is it?
It's not, as long as you finish things, because the last time I tidied out my sewing room, which, like everybody else at home, let's all have hands up, we're all the same. Craft rooms get a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Well, I started counting half-finished projects. I stopped counting at 25.
Oh.
I didn't stop finding them.
No.
I just stopped counting them at 25.
Wow. Sharon has been in touch. I'm waiting for my new sewing machine. It's coming.
Wonderful.
That's Sharon. Well,
that's exciting.
That is exciting. Very exciting.
And what have you had, Sharon?
Yeah, let's know. What have you gone for?
Yeah, because again, that's a personal thing as well, isn't it? A sewing machine is a bit like buying a car. Everybody has their own preferences.
Really?
Yeah. You can really become attached to a certain make because of the way that the mechanisms work and everything, the familiarity of it.
Yeah.
And people are staunchly defensive of their favourite make as
well.
Really? Yeah, they can be.
Machine Wars.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine? What was that? Robot Wars. It used to be, didn't it? Sew Machine Wars.
Yeah, we could perhaps have a show like that.
We could have like a sew-off.
Yeah. Sew-off wars. You have to pimp up your machines.
Can you imagine? I'd like one that just dispenses sweets and maybe wine.
Oh. Drink responsibly. But yes, definitely. And one with another tube here for me. Or tube.
Those hats, you can get those hats as well, can't you? Maybe make some of those.
Oh dear. Oh, it's a sewing and embroidery machine. I don't know if we're allowed to say the make, but it's that.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That is like Christmas. When you know something like that is arriving, it is just... I get excited. When we order fabrics, because of the way that they are, literally handmade, and if you go along to our Facebook page, there's a video on there as well of how the batiks are made, because I'm sure it's kind of a new concept to lots of people. But we get an email saying your shipment's on its way, and we had 11 boxes to land this week. Yeah. And I was like, oh, and they landed, and I had to leave to go and teach in Wokingham.
No.
So the ladies in the workshop got to kind of stroke them and make friends with them before I did.
Oh no!
It's all good. It's all good. I like to share the love.
Were they happy to see you when you went back? Not the ladies, the fabric.
The fabrics. Well, they sang. They sang to me. They went, oh. I won't do that again. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's fine.
So, filling in block 4 now and just going round and round. And you can, this sort of thing, you can really take your time with. You can maybe do like a block a day, because I know that people get strapped for time, don't they, with busy lives and work and everything else that we have to do. So
a block a day would be good.
Yeah, and then within a week, you've done it, haven't you? And you've created something that is really, really lovely. That's unique as well. You can show off to all your friends, take it along to your craft group and go,
Look what I made.
Yeah.
You can say, here's what I made earlier.
Yeah, literally.
Now, we've got a couple of minutes left on Facebook Live. It's been great to have your company. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you to Angela, to Sharon. Thank you to Mavis. Thank you to Joanna. Thank you to Chrissy and everyone else that was in touch with us. We often do these Facebook Live, so it's great to have your company. Let us know if you enjoy them, and let us know what kind of Facebook Live programmes you would like to see. But we are going to be back together at 5 o'clock.
We are together.
Yes, together at 5 live.
I'll find you.
Come find me. So we'll just finish off this project.
I'm just going to do another line, and then you can see how it starts to grow.
Do you already know what you're going to bring to Hochanda again when you come back?
I've just been sorting out the dates.
Have you?
Yeah, and I've now got my dates for the rest of the year.
Oh, good.
So I will be back.
Yes, good.
I think my next one is in August, though.
August. That's not too long.
No.
What are we, end of July? No, sorry, we're the end of June.
End of June already, I know.
Summer solstice today, longest day.
I know. Happy summer solstice, everybody.
Yes.
And the sun is out, I think, for most people, isn't it?
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
We've needed it, haven't we? I mean, there's only so much rain the garden needs. And then, come on, dry it up a little bit.
Right, well, we're rapidly coming up to the end of our Facebook Live. Roxy, it's been great to have your company.
It's been a good giggle, thank you.
It certainly has, and it's been great to have your company as well. Wherever you're watching us and whatever you're watching us on, it's been great to have your company. We will be live on Hochanda at 5 o'clock today if you want to join us. It'd be great to have your company, and then you'll be able to see all the goodies that you can buy. So, Roxy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, have a great day, whatever it is you're doing. Maybe go off and get a cup of tea now, have some cake. I think I'm going to do the latter. And we'll be seeing you at 5 o'clock. Don't forget, you can always get your questions into the 5 o'clock show as well. So it was always good to hear from you. So, Roxy, thanks. We'll see you at 5.
Lovely.
And we'll see you in a few minutes' time. Bye-bye.